In this video, we are going to make a rain animation using classes and objects. Right now, we are only using function draw, and we only have one raindrop, which we display using text and an emoji. We could make a bunch of new variables and a bunch of other emojis, but a more efficient way to approach this is by using objects. With classes, we can define the properties and actions of a single raindrop, then create a bunch of new raindrop objects with those parameters. To start, we are going to type class and give it the name raindrop. Open the scope and type constructor parentheses and then another scope. The constructor is going to be where we define our raindrop's properties. So if we look at the raindrop we created in function draw, we can see that it has an X and a Y position. Above, we also gave it a text size, so let's consider that a property as well. In our class, we define our variables using the keyword this as opposed to var or let. So to create our X, we will type this.x equals an X position. Although the whole point of creating a class for our raindrop is to avoid creating a bunch of unnecessary variables, so instead of giving this raindrop a specific X position, we will just say this.x equals X. And in our constructor's parameters, which are the parentheses, we will say that we are going to pass an X variable when this raindrop object is declared. We will repeat this process for our other properties, X, Y, and size. If we look at our raindrop in function draw, again we can see that it's moving along the y-axis. To add this to our class, we can make a new fall function by typing fall parentheses and open the scope. In this, we can just copy what we've already wrote, but instead of changing x and y, we want to change this.x and this.y. So we'll copy all of that information, and instead of y, we want to do this.y, and instead of x, we'll do this.x. In our final function in our raindrop class, we want to show our raindrop, so we type parentheses, open scope, and copy our text and text size over. In the text size parentheses, instead of 5, we are going to write this dot size, and we will also want to change the x and y in our text to this dot x and this dot y. We now have a basic class for a raindrop, but we aren't actually seeing any raindrops on our screen yet. To do this, we need to create a new raindrop object, which we can then call our methods fall and show on. Above setup, we will write var drop. Then in setup, we will type drop equals new raindrop, parentheses, random 650, comma, -50, comma, 5, parentheses. What we're doing is creating a new raindrop object with a random x position, a -50y position, and a size of 5. All these values were passed to our constructor and assigned to our raindrop's data members. Our variable drop is now assigned to a new object raindrop. Our first drop now exists, but we need to display it on our screen. Luckily, we made member functions in our class to do this. In draw, we will say drop.show parentheses and drop.fall parentheses. We now have our first raindrop, and all we have to do is create more objects. Let's make 2 more drops. Var drop 2 and var drop 3. Then in setup, we'll do drop 2 equals new raindrop, parentheses x, comma, y, comma, size, and the same thing for drop 3. Then in draw, we'll do the same thing. Drop 2.show, drop 2.fall, drop 3.show, drop 3.fall. So now we have our 3 drops. In our next video, we will see how we can create more raindrops without manually typing out a new object for every raindrop. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all of our newest videos.